Hi folks, welcome to another episode of Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. In this episode, we're going to start delivering food to our grocery stores. And we may even get our asphalt plant up and running. Let's get started. Smash that subscribe button below right now and click on the bell so you don't miss out on more great content. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Or just give it a thumbs up for yourself so that you'll always be able to come back and watch it again if you need to. Well, the first step is to make sure that we have enough grocery stores in the villages and towns that we're actually drawing workers from. But right now in this village we only have one grocery store here, so we could probably use a few more to make sure our citizens have access. Let's build a few more grocery stores. And we'll just kind of go around the edge here. So in this case, this town is pretty tightly packed, so probably the best option is to put grocery stores around the perimeter of the village. Let's sneak one in here somewhere if we can. And I plop a grocery store right there. And of course, we'll put in little walkways to it because it's going to need it, just to make sure that people can get to it from as far away as possible. I'm going to stick one over here in this area here. And maybe I should really put a road through there. Let's go to roads. And put in a dirt road here if it'll let me. And it will. So back over to residences and grocery stores. And again, let's just pop in a grocery store. And of course, we'll put some walkways to it. We have a grocery store here. So maybe a good place for a grocery store would be right at the entrance to town. So again, over to residence and we'll plop in a grocery store. And maybe I'll turn them around like that so I've got lots of walkways pointing towards the residential areas. We'll hook him up. And hopefully he's got lots of good access to the surrounding area. And of course he's going to need road access, which he doesn't have just yet. There we go. Alright, so we're going around the perimeter of this little village. And I'm thinking we need at least one, if not two more, because people don't walk very far to get to these grocery stores. But there is one way to check, and we just go like that. So actually, that's not too bad. And if we click on this guy here, and who can walk to him? Yeah, we got a blank spot in here. Let's get another grocery store in this area here if we can. And let's plop that guy down just like that. And of course we'll give him a road connection. And some walkways so that that maximizes the distance people will go to get here. As best we can anyway. Give ourselves lots of coverage. And if we click on that grocery store and see who can walk there, that's looking pretty good. But I think we have most of that village covered. Let's go down to the next village. So down at this village or town, whatever you'd like to call it, it's a very small town. We've got one grocery store here, so that's probably sufficient for this end. But we do have residents down here, and we do have a grocery store there, so I think we're pretty well covered. Let's go down to our main development. We've got one grocery store here and one there. Let's just check how far people will walk to get there. Not very far at all. That's quite limited. And then this guy here, we'll click on him. It's a little better, but we still don't have very good coverage when it comes to grocery stores. But I think we got to stick another one in there. Got to get coverage for this area here. So let's put a grocery store in here. And that way these folks will be covered. And then back to walkways, of course. And we'll put a few of these in. And we'll hook them up over here. And while we're at it, we'll just put a walkway like that. And let's go over to the last little town or village that we're using for workers. And in this town, do we have any grocery stores? Well, we don't have any at all. So let's see if we can squeeze a few in. I might have to do a little bit of terrain management here to get a grocery store in this so-called dense area or downtown area. I'm going to go to level terrain from the center and use resources and see if I can make this area here just a little bit bigger. Because I'd like to get a grocery store in there. And then over to grocery store, I'm going to uncheck that. And I'm going to plop a grocery store in right there. And of course, as always, we're going to add a few walkways like we've done before. Sometimes these things don't go exactly the way you'd hope. That ought to do it. So there's one grocery store. And again, we'll just click on him to see his area of influence. That's pretty good. We have much of the town still not covered. We're going to need something up in this area here, but it looks like I'm going to have to move these wires to make that happen. Look over here, and we're just going to move these wires out of the way and just make them swing a little farther out. We'll go out like that, right close to the road, nice and tight, and then connect. I might have to do some landscaping in here too. Go back over to level terrain from the center, and I'm going to use resources, and let's see if we can just level that out. And if I go over to contours, we can kind of see what that looks like from a contour perspective. Let's give that a try. We're going to unclick resources and go back to residence and back over to a grocery store, and I'm going to unclick the contours. And let's plop another grocery store in there. And of course, we'll put some walkways in, or pathways, to make sure we maximize as much as possible the distance people are willing to go to get to these things. Now we have 2 grocery stores in this town. And then back over here, and we'll look at the walking distance. Well, that's pretty good. But of course, this end of the town's not quite covered yet. So back over here, I'm going to put a grocery store right in over here. Once again, we're going to plop in some walkways. And I think that's about all I need right now. Like, click on that guy there. That pretty well covers most of that end of town. There might be some that are not covered, but that's about the best I can do without blowing up something on the inside of the village. So now we've got, I think, enough grocery stores to cover the populated areas where we're now taking workers from. Let's go back to the food factory and see what we can do there to start delivering food. So of course, there's our food factory, and we have a problem. We have no workers. That's a problem we're going to have to fix right now. But just in terms of orientation, there's the food factory, the grain silo, the agri-farm, and of course there's the warehouse and a road cargo station. But we got to get some more workers in here, so let's see if we can do that. So let's click on this guy here. They're unable to get food, which is interesting because there is a grocery store right across the road. So that is a bit perplexing. But nonetheless, if I click on here, I already got them going to the food factory, or at least half of them. But for reasons I can't explain, this grocery store seems to be dysfunctional. Oh, it's without power supply. Well, it has power now, but there are no or fewer sellers than required. So I have a direct connection to the warehouse there. I thought that was going to work out just excellently. So I'm going to experiment here and try putting a grocery store right beside this area here. Or what I could do is sneak a road in here, or maybe a road through here, and put more residents and a grocery store in here. Let's see what I can do. Over to roads, and I'm wondering if I can get a road up through here. And that's a little too tight. Might be able to pull a road out through here. Maybe something like that. And back to residence. And I'm going to put a couple of fairly large residents in. There's one. And there's another one. And I'm going to put some amenities here. So let's go back to a grocery store. That's something that they're going to want. Actually, hang on a sec. I'm just going to put a road in. Put a road in through here. And one down there like that. And we'll just connect him up. I don't think you need to connect everybody. But I am going to need a grocery store and a few other things in this vicinity. I'm going to put a grocery store here. And then back to roads, and we'll just extend that out. And while we're here, we better put in a kindergarten and a school. There's the kindergarten, and there's the school. And of course, all of this is to support the food factory. So it looks like a lot of these folks are headed to the food factory, so that's good. So I'm going to just make sure that they continue to do so. If I can click on that, I can. And then similar to this guy, I'm going to see if I can make them go to the food factory. Hopefully that works out. But I guess I also need workers here. Well, I've got staff. And I also need teachers over here. Well, that's working out fairly well for the moment. So now our food factory is operating without issues. Now over at the field, we are still in the growing process. We haven't started harvesting just yet. So with that in mind, if I go back to the food factory in terms of purchasing, for now, we still have to purchase crops. We'll leave it like that. Now let's take a look at our cargo station. We've got about 169 tons of food, give or take. So we've got lots of food, and I think it's time to start delivering it to our grocery stores. But of course, we always have little problems and distractions that get in our way. So right now, I need to make sure I got power down to this area. So I'll put in a electric substation, and I'm going to have to run some medium voltage wires down this way to make sure I've got power. And we'll bring those wires across. And of course, right here, I'm going to need a medium voltage switch. But before we do that, let's just knock out some wires here and then put the switch in. In goes the switch, and then back in goes the wires. That's the thing about this game, you can have a single objective in mind, but there's always distractions. There's always 1,000 things you've got to take care of at the same time. So back over to this residence. No one lives here, so that's a problem. Let's see if we can invite people back. Get some immigrants back. And do I need expert immigrants? I don't think so. Probably just regular people should do it. And hopefully I have those folks assigned. I have them assigned to the heating plant and to the food factory. So our food factory only has 16 workers. That is really odd. But hopefully a lot of these people will go here and that number will start to go up. Now one of our problems here is our school has no teachers, and we have workers here that can't go to work because there's no kindergarten available, which is interesting because there's a kindergarten there, but there's no staff. So let's get staff to go there and there. So first of all, let's invite some experts, which may fall into the teacher category. I'm not really sure. But just to be on the safe side, and for this guy here, I'm also going to have them go here and there. And similarly here, let's see if we can also split them there and there. That should keep our kindergarten and our school fully functional. And you can see the citizens walking there now. So our kindergarten is back up and running, and our school's back up and running. That should facilitate these buildings, those residents, going to work. And now our food factory has 148 workers. That looks like that was the problem we needed to solve. So back over here by the cargo station, I'm going to put a road in right in here. I'm just going to put in a little gravel road. Actually, it's a mud road, not a gravel road. Pardon me. And we'll connect that right up. Then we'll go over to general cargo and we'll put in a medium distribution center if I can squeeze one in here. So it looks like I'd do a little landscaping if I want that to fit. Go back over to train management. We're going to level from the center, put the contours on, and we're going to use resources. So this looks a little tricky here. Let's see if I can get that leveled out. Nice and flat for my distribution center. There we go. And then we'll unclick that and go back to general cargo and over to a medium distribution center. And can I move him over just a little bit? I can. And he's got power, so let's plop him in right there. Alright, now let's set up the distribution at our distribution center. So we'll left click on that and we're going to give it a task. So we're going to pick up food here at the cargo station. So we're going to load there. And now we got to unload at all the grocery stores, so let's find them. So there's one there. And we're just going to click on all the grocery stores. So we have a little problem here. Before we continue with this, I better see why I have my power plant has stopped production. So that's distressing, because that I need. There are no workers. Let's take some drastic measures and put a residence right beside it. Stick something in there as quick as we can to get that thing up and running. Then we'll click on that guy and we'll specify that they go there. I'm hoping that keeps the number of workers at a healthy number there. We're at 4. At least it's operating without issues. And this guy here, again, 4. Not the greatest number. Oop, I'd like it to be more. So maybe I got to do the same thing here, is put another building in here, another residence. Now my heating plant stopped production, but it's in July, so I'm not that worried about that. So back to residence, and let's see if I can squeak another residence in here. Why does that not connect right to the road? It should connect automatically. There we go. And then we'll stick a walkway in. Hopefully I can get another walkway in here. Get them nice and connected. And we'll get these workers going there for now. And maybe we'll split them between the school and the power plant. That's 7, the number's going up, that's better. And that's at 12 or 13, so that's even better. Alright, so back to the problem at hand, just trying to get that food distributed. Let's go back. So back here at the distribution center, and what I'm going to do is all destination buildings, I'm going to click that up to 90%. So the way I understand it is, as long as all destinations are less than 90% full, the trucks will continue to deliver. So why not keep our grocery stores full with food? So now we've got to buy some vehicles, so we'll go purchase, and we're looking for covered hulls. So covered hulls, they carry food. You know, do we need something crazily big? I mean, that one there carries, looks like 6.5 tons of food. Those numbers are so small, I wish they were bigger. But that's 7,000 rubles. I go back, that one's a little bit cheaper. So, but they do have some long distances to go. So let's go with the MZ504. I'm gonna buy a bunch of these. And so there we go, we've got 8 of them. And the trucks take off automatically to make the food deliveries. So while those trucks are making the food deliveries, let's see if we can start delivering gravel to our asphalt plant. Down here at the large aggregate storage, it's completely full with gravel. So we got lots of gravel, and there's 2 things we can do with it. One is we can build roads out of gravel. Well, actually there's 3 things. We can also use it for building construction, and we can also use it to build asphalt roads by putting the gravel down first as part of that process. So let's find a place for another distribution office. I'm going to level out this area here. Put on the contours, and we're going to use resources and just level that right out. And then I'm going to turn off the resources, turn off the contours, and go back to general cargo and back to a medium distribution office. And I'm going to see if I should be able to get him in there. Still needs a little bit of flattening, and plop that in. So while that's building, let's just check on where our food trucks are and what they're doing. So there's one there, he's bombing down the road, and it looks like he's carrying absolutely nothing from what I can tell, so yeah, he's going in for some gas. What about this guy here? Well, he had to get some gas too. I guess they have to gas up first before they can go anywhere. Well, here's some intrepid individuals. They're making their way. He's carrying 5 tons of food, so they've already gassed up, obviously, and are making their rounds. So it looks like our food is being delivered. And very shortly, what we'll be able to do is we'll be able to go to our grocery stores and get them to stop importing or purchasing food. But for now, let's go back to the other distribution office. So at this distribution office, I'm going to buy a bunch of dumper trucks. We'll go to dumpers, and these guys are going to have a long way to go. And I guess you could argue that I could probably, or should probably, make this delivery by train. But I'm thinking it'll work by trucks. Well, that one there is fairly expensive. It's got a top speed of about 80 kilometers per hour, if I'm reading that correctly, and it carries 9 tons of gravel. I'm gonna buy 12 of those. Then over here, we're gonna give it some tasks. So we're gonna load there. And we're gonna unload way down by our asphalt plant. And we're gonna unload here at the large aggregate storage near our asphalt plant. Now what I am going to do is just make sure we click unload, not load. So here, of course, they're going to load gravel, and there they're just going to unload. I don't think I have to specify because that's about the only thing they can. It is the only thing they can get. And now that I have that, again, I'm going to bump that up to 90%. And I have all source buildings at greater than 0%. So as long as we have more than 0% at the source building, and as long as this destination is less than 90%, the truck should still continue to deliver. And we'll go back to that distribution office. And away they go. So there's a food truck there delivering food to a grocery store. I'm going to go around to the grocery stores now, and for all of them, and I'll just show you one of them, I won't show you all of them. He has almost a full load of food. I'm going to go to purchase, and for food, I'm going to knock it down to 0 and approve that purchase. I'm going to do that for all my grocery stores. So at this point, we are well on our way to food independence. We're now delivering food to all our grocery stores, and all the grocery stores have stopped importing food. Now, we're not totally there. Our grocery stores are still importing meat, and our food factory is still importing crops. But we're getting very close to a harvest, and when we do, once we start harvesting, our food factory can stop importing crops. Now let's check on that asphalt plant. Over at the asphalt plant, our large aggregate storage is still empty. The trucks haven't arrived yet, but in time they will. Oh, and there we go. We have another problem at one of our power plants. We've stopped production yet again, and if I click on that, it's the number of workers. That is very aggravating. I don't know how that happens. So let's see if we can put more workers here. Or more residents, I guess, just to keep it going. I find that extremely frustrating. Pick another one right across the road. Plop them in there. And we'll see if we can get people to work there. And we'll click on that guy. And make them go there. Well, now we're up to 15, so boy, that's quite volatile. One minute it's 0 workers, the next minute it's 15. That's up around 10, so you would think that would be fairly stable from now on. But who knows? Well, folks, we've accomplished a lot today. We're delivering food to our grocery stores, and our grocery stores have stopped importing food. And we have trucks carrying gravel on their way to the asphalt plant. Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you do have any comments or questions, feel free to note them in the comments section below. Well, where do we go from here? Well, as per usual, the answer to that question lies in the next video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. If you haven't done so already, smash that subscribe button below right now and click on the bell so you don't miss out on more great content. Click on that box in the bottom left-hand corner right now to see a video you're almost guaranteed to love. This video was selected just for you by YouTube, and they know what you like. So what are you waiting for? Click on that box now, sit back, relax, and enjoy another video.